What is up, all you minties? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, and it is that time of the month again where we all gather together and talk about our budget. This time it's going to be for the collected editions coming out in November of 2020. So, please stay tuned. And welcome back, all you minties. Now, before I get started, go ahead and smash that like button, ring that bell for notifications, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. It is that time of the month where we talk about our budget, where the dog is wondering why he ain't getting as many treats as he used to because you're too busy buying books that you want. I get it. My dog wonders the same thing. So, let's talk about books that are coming out in November of 2020. We got 4 weeks to look at. And again, I'll be putting the dates somewhere on the video, let you know week by week. That was suggested by some of you all, and I really appreciate it. And probably the most important thing that I always say every time we do this video is some of these collected editions may be delayed, probably. How about this? We are sure that some of these are going to be delayed, right? Some of these will change a date. As long as we don't see any cancellations, I'm cool with that. But that's the main thing. Let's keep them in the catalog. Let's not cancel anything, and we're okay with waiting on some of these. And that was happening long before the global pandemic, so that's just something to keep in mind. So let's go ahead and get started looking at all the trade paperbacks, epic collections, absolutes, omnis, and hardcovers coming out in November, with the week of November 4th. So, from Marvel Comics, we're kicking it off with Omnibus, Volume 3. By now, I'm sure you've seen my overview of it, and if you already have Volume 1, by the way, is being reprinted next year in case you don't have it. So this has 2 covers, again, the standard edition cover here, which is the Sam Keith cover, and then it will also have the direct market cover, which is what I call the Deodato tongue cover. That cover is really cool, too. We also have Black Panther Book 3, Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda Part 1. I did an overview of that a couple of weeks ago. It's an oversized hardcover. And somebody pointed out that the story's not finished yet, that the story's still on hiatus. So I need to find out when that's coming back, because I really like that story. I've done an overview of this as well. This is the Marvel Art of Adam Kubert. If you want to check that out, that is on the channel somewhere. We have a playlist. I think it's called Hardcovers, so you can check it out that way. As far as trade paperbacks, we have Thor by Donny Cates, Volume 1. Very, very, very excited to read the rest of that because I've read the first 2 issues. And he's doing some phenomenal things with that character. Empire, Lords of the Empire, which I think this focuses on Koya, or Sequoia, more than any of the other characters. So it's like the Katati characters that are appearing in the Empire book. X-Men by Jonathan Hickman, Volume 2. It's coming out. And of course, that is just collecting the, I think this is 7 through 12, of just X-Men by Jonathan Hickman. Also collected in some of the Dawn of X trades. Venom Epic Collection Symbiosis. The Astonishing Melanie did an advanced review of that. Like, she did an in-depth review of that book. So if you want to check that out, that is on the channel. And then Marvelverse, Deadpool, and Wolverine, which is the smaller scale books. From DC, let's look at the DC list we have. We have Hard Time, the complete series. This is Steve Gerber series. That's coming out the first week of November. Sandman, the Deluxe Edition, Book 1. Of course that's coming out because that thing has been moved around so often. I do really like that new cover, though. Victor and Nora, A Gotham Love Story. So this is the story of Mr. Freeze. This is the graphic novel. I think this is the for kids line. So it's pretty cool that they're taking the character of Mr. Freeze and his frozen wife. Finally, we have a new date for Lucifer Omnibus Volume 2, so not canceled. A lot of people were worried a couple months ago when they saw that that was moved, but it is now in the first week of November. As well as Plastic Man Rubber Bandit Deluxe Edition. This book looks cool, like just the way that it looks. I think it's actual plastic that they're using for the cover. I could be wrong. I have been many times. Ask my wife. Superman City of Tomorrow, Volume 2. I'm glad they're continuing the series. This is when Jeff Loeb took over that book. They've been released before in smaller, thin, and out of print trade paperbacks, but we are now getting a thicker trade of these. Teen Titans Deathstroke, the Terminus Agenda. And we also have Supergirl Volume 3. This is the Jody Hauser run. Justice League Unlimited, Time After Time. This is based on the cartoon, of course. and Daphne Byrne. This is by Laura Marks and one of my favorite creators, one of my favorite artists, Kelly Jones. Batman Superman Volume 1, Who Are the Secret Six? This is the trade paperback version. And the Astonishing Melanie did a review of the hardcover. It's the same thing because the hardcover was standard edition, except this is trade paperback. Now, as far as manga, we have Bleach, Can't Fear Your Own World, Volume 2. This is a continuation, I think. I think somebody was telling me what this was. I know that the creator, I think he's just given his blessing. He has nothing to do with the story or anything, or is he drawing it? Kubo. Please leave those comments down below. Dr. Stone Volume 14, continuing that series, and that is one of the things that I'm doing when I'm taking off Old Reader, New Reader, is reading Dr. Stone. Some of y'all have been wanting me to read that for a long time. Haikyuu, please. Look, this is Volume 41. My little girl, my oldest daughter, her friends have a huge just fascination with the story. Like, it's about girls, I think, or is it boys that play volleyball? I really don't know. So if you're following this, let me know, but because they love it, they can't stop talking about it. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable, Volume 7 is coming out. That series is still continuing. I'm so happy that Viz announced that they're going to do the Fist of the North Star and deluxe editions. I don't think they're hardcovers, but I'll take whatever as long as they commit to doing the entire series. As far as other publishers, we have Bloodborne. This is the box set that holds volumes 1, 2, and 3. This one keeps appearing and disappearing from the catalog, so hopefully it will come out. We have Lumberjanes, the original graphic novel gift set. So this looks like it collects 3 original graphic novels, which is The Infernal Compass, The Shape of Friendship, and True Colors. My oldest daughter, Lydia, loves that book, so that's probably one that I'm picking up. One that I'm excited about, that I know a lot of people are excited about, is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Beyond the Grid Deluxe Edition hardcover. Kyle Higgins has already left the book by now, and I think it's Marjorie Bennett that takes over it. And Ryan Parrott, at this time, is writing Go-Go Power Rangers. But this is the deluxe edition following the Shattered Grid storyline. Michael Golden's Micronauts Artist Edition has been moved to this date. We're getting Micronauts, guys, in a collected edition. Yes, I realize it's the Artist Edition, but whatever. We're still getting it. Odessa, this book looks really interesting. I really like that cover. And Prince Valiant hardcover box set, volumes 7 through 9, 1949 through 1954. This is a series that I've always wanted to get into, and I never got a chance to get them because they're very big books, and I think some of these are out of print, sadly. But maybe one day I'll actually find some and start picking those up. As far as the week of November 11th, we have a couple of books. We're getting the restock of Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 2. That's coming out, so keep an eye at wherever you decide to buy books. Keep an eye there, whether it's cheap graphic novels, in-stock trades, or your local comic shop, but that is when the reprint is coming. The Thanos Infinity Saga Omnibus, that is coming out, and it's got 2 covers. We have the standard edition cover and, of course, the variant cover. Star Wars Volume 1, Destiny Path. Cable by Jerry Duggan, Volume 1. I really like that first issue with that was in the Dawn of X trade paperback that just came out. So I'm excited to follow that series. And then New Mutants by Ed Brisson, Volume 1. Now, you might be a little bit confused because we've already had a New Mutants Volume 1, but that was by Jonathan Hickman. This is Ed Brisson, who is doing, I think, Hickman did chapters 1 and 2. He did 3, 4, whatever chapters that Hickman didn't write, Ed Brisson wrote. That's what that collection has. And speaking of Dawn of X, we're getting Dawn of X Volume 10 that day. Avengers Epic Collection Heavy Metal. Hell yes, I finally get to replace my trade paperback when that comes out. Shuri Wakanda Forever, and that is the small graphic novel size. From DC, we have The Forever People by Jack Kirby. So this is the trade paperback format. We have Girl, trade paperback by Peter Milligan and Duncan Fegredo. That is an amazing team, and I've not read that book. Why the Last Man is getting the compendium this day on the week of the 11th. And then we also have The Authority Book 1. This is the trade paperback edition. and Teen Titans Go Roll With It. No, I'm sorry, Teen Titans Go Roll With It. There, that's better. Based on the cartoon. As far as manga for the week of the 11th, we have Breasts Are My Favorite Thing, Volume 2. I'm sorry, Breasts Are My Favorite Thing in the World, Volume 2. While I agree with that, anybody reading this? Volume 1 came out last month, and I remember looking at it going, how are we publishing books like this? And people take manga seriously. But whatever, this could be like one of the greatest titles, and I'm busting on it just based on the title and the cover. Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card, Volume 8. This is the new series. Hopefully we'll get some kind of hardcover collection out of those later on. Speaking of hardcovers, Full Metal Alchemist, Full Metal Edition, Volume 11. Hell yes, continuing that wonderful series in hardcover edition. Rinne, Volume 36. I can't believe... That brings back memories. I remember getting an advanced copy of Volume 1 and reviewing it for... Was it Beckett Anime Magazine that year? Whatever magazine I was writing. Ah, man. Memories. It's crazy to think how... These things just catch up. We're on Volume 36, and if they release 4 volumes... Nah, I don't want to think about it. Sayuki, the original series Resurrected Edition. I haven't picked these up, but is anybody picking these up? These look great. I like the anime. I haven't read the book, but that's up my alley. I really like the original anime. As far as other publishers, we have Marvel, The Art of the Brothers Hildebrandt hardcover. Neil Gaiman is getting the second library edition volume from Dark Horse. Assassin's Creed Origins Deluxe Edition. Once and Future trade paperback volume 2. Love the first issue. I am hoping that they collect. This is the Kieran Gillen and Dan Mora collaboration. I'm hoping that they will give us a deluxe hardcover when the series is done. But I kind of want to get them now. Planet Paradise. That looks really interesting. And Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Black and White hardcover is coming out. I don't know if that's going to be part... Is that part of any of the hardcovers yet? I know it's not part of any of the IDW hardcovers yet. But I don't think it's collected... That crossover, rather, is collected in the Boom Mighty Morphin hardcovers yet. Hey now, we're halfway done with the month. So at this moment, I just want to remind you all to smash that like button if you haven't yet. It helps with the algorithm of YouTube, and it definitely helps our channel grow. And I will be publishing my top 10 essential books or must-buys for the month of November. That video will be coming out this week sometime, probably tomorrow or the day after. So stay tuned to the channel for that. Now, let's get back to that list. And moving on to the week of November 18th from Marvel Comics, we have the Marvel Masterworks Marvel 2-in-1 Volume 5. The standard edition, and then the direct market cover. I remember when I got to announce that. That was pretty exciting. That's volume 296 of the Masterworks. Conan the Barbarian by Kurt Busiek. I got to announce this too. Omnibus volume 1. We have the standard edition cover by Carrie Nord, sorry. And then the direct market cover by Linsner. That direct market cover is solid. Now, this is the Dark Horse years and just collecting the Kurt Busiek run. I know a lot of you are asking me, is there going to be a follow-up? Are they going to do any more Dark Horse collected editions as far as Omnis for Conan? At this point, I think it's just based on the sales of this book. If this book does well, then we're probably going to get the rest of the stuff in omnibus format. I mean, it's Conan. Oh, hell yes. Excalibur, Volume 1. Getting an omnibus edition, one of my most wanted omnis last year. It's coming, and we have the direct market cover as well as the standard edition cover, and I can't wait. Oh, Excalibur Volume 2 by Teenie Howard. Look at that, Excalibur back to back. It's good to be a mutant fan. Wolverine by Benjamin Piercy Volume 1 is coming out that day. That story is so solid. If you've not read it, it is so good. He is quickly becoming one of my favorite writers. Wow, there's a lot of mutant titles coming out this day. Hellions by Zeb Wells, Volume 1. That's a freaking awesome series. That has some obscure characters like Nanny and Orphan Maker and Empath. Oh man, that series is so good. I really enjoyed it, and that first issue was a big shocker. Daredevil Epic Collection, Last Rites. That can replace my Fall the Kingpin trade paperback now. And then Oz Complete Collection Road to Emerald City in the small graphic novel size. As far as DC, we're kicking it off with Batman by Tom King and Lee Weeks. This is a really weird deluxe edition because it collects Batman 51 to 53 and 67 and Batman Annual 2. It's just literally creator-centric. What is the point of that? Whatever. Blackest Night Brightest Day box set. So many people have been wanting me to do an advance order or a look at that. And if I ever get it, I'd be more than happy to. Batman, The Road to No Man's Land Omnibus. Yes. Please don't cancel this. Oh, man. NJ, that week is going to kick our asses. JLA by Grant Morrison Omnibus has been moved to this week, too. So excited for that. Even though they left out some orphaned issues. What are you going to do, right? I guess get a job in the collected edition department and try to fix those errors. Underworld Unleashed, the 25th anniversary edition. So upset this is a trade paperback because I was really looking forward to this book. And I'm probably going to upgrade my old trade, but still. I mean, it collects a lot more, but it's a trade paperback. Come on, DC. Superman Action Comics Volume 3, Leviathan Hunt. This is the Brian Michael Bendis and Szymon Kudranski. That's the artist that was on Fallen Angels. Okay, that's where he's gone to. Flash Volume 13, Rogue's Reign. I guess we are no longer going to do the hardcover deluxe editions. This is by Joshua Williamson. And Flash Year 1 by Joshua Williamson and Howard Porter is also coming out that day. Plunge, the hardcover. This is by Joe Hill and by Stuart Eminem, who recently retired. Now, you can take this with a grain of salt, but this is the date that's supposed to have Batman 3 Jokers, which literally just wrapped up, but the hardcover is supposed to come out this day. I don't know the trim size for all those that are going to ask me, but it is $29.99. It does not say deluxe edition, so it makes me think that this is a standard size hardcover, which... $30 for 160 pages. Well, I guess we'll see. As far as manga, we have Berserk Volume 6, the deluxe edition. Now, that is definitely a deluxe edition. Beastars Volume 9 is coming out from Viz Comics. Cardcaptor, Uncanny Omar talked pretty one day. Cardcaptor Sakura Collector's Edition Volume 6 is coming out that day. I want to say that wraps up the series. If they're doing 2 and 1, that does math is hard. That does wrap up the series, I think. Mermaid Saga, one I'm very excited for. Collector's Edition Volume 1. Kingdom Hearts 3 Volume 1, I guess to clarify what the story is about for all the people that play the video game. And Urusei Yatsura Volume 8. And as far as other publishers for the week of the 18th, we have Paper Girls, hell yes. The Deluxe Edition, Volume 3, wrapping up that series. Ludocrats, trade paperback, I've not read that. Low, Volume 5, Light Brings Light. I can't wait for this to finally be collected in that deluxe format. I love this book. This is one of Rick Remender's best series. And it's been on hiatus for so long, but it's coming back. And speaking of hiatus, and we finally have a date, East of West, The Apocalypse Year 3, coming out the week of the 18th to wrap up that week. Now, the final week, the week of November 25th, we have from Marvel Comics, Captain America, trade paperback, Sharon Carter, and I think that just focuses on all the different years that Sharon has played a part in Captain America's life. Captain Marvel, trade paperback, Volume 4, Accused. My wife really likes that series. And I am a fan of Kelly Thompson. I've just read that first trade, so I need to get on that. Conan, Battle for the Serpent Crown. Hell yes, more Conan. Fantastic Four, trade paperback, Volume 6, Empire. So tying into the Empire series. Star Wars Bounty Hunters, Volume 1, Galaxy's Deadliest. And Star Wars Darth Vader by Greg Pak, Volume 1, Dark Heart of the Sith is coming out that week. We have 3 Star Wars books. Because we're also getting the Star Wars Legends Epic Collection, trade paperback, Volume 1, Tales of the Jedi. And I know a lot of you all are excited for that book, because you kept hitting me up if this book is still coming out. Is it still on the catalog? Please don't cancel it. So here it is. U.S. Agent trade paperback, Good Fight is coming out. Yeah, I guess that's because he's appearing in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. Is that a spoiler? I saw pictures. I don't even know if that's real. Forget what I just said. Venom versus Carnage is getting a new trade paperback. This has been collected in the Omnibus edition of Carnage, also collected in Venom Omnibus Volume 3, but it is getting a new printing. X Factor by Leah Williams is coming out. I've only read the first issue, so I'm really excited to read this. But I think they're putting X Factor in with Dawn of X. X-Force by Benjamin Piercy, another killer series. Volume 2 is coming out that day. And from DC, on the week of the 25th, we have Question, The Deaths of Vic Sage. I completely forgot about this book, but I love The Question, and I love Jeff Lemire, and I love Dennis Cohen and Bill Sienkiewicz. So holy crap. How did I forget about that? Heroes in Crisis. That's on the opposite side of the I'm very excited for. This is the trade paperback edition. Legends of the Dark Knight. Hell yes. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. I know a lot of people say that this is their definitive Batman artist, and when I was a kid, I remember getting a lot of his old issues, and I love his Batman, his blue cowl Batman and the yellow on, or black on yellow emblem. So I get it. And I like the way he draws the Joker, but mine's always been Jim Aparo. But very excited for those people that are getting this book finally. Lois Lane, Enemy of the People. This is the Greg Rucka run that I knew nothing about until last month when I think someone was asking if I was reading it. Oh, this week is pretty expensive too. We have Super Sons Omnibus, the expanded edition. So this adds the Adventures of the Super Sons 12-issue series to that already existing Omnibus. Well played, DC. Justice League International, yes, Omnibus Volume 2. Sorry, I get really passionate and excited that this book, I was worried it was going to be canceled. I was worried that they were just going to be like, no, it's gone to cancellation, but it is finally coming out. Collecting Justice League of America 31 through 50, the annual number 4, the quarterly issue, the first one, and then Justice League Europe 7 through 25. So we are beyond the trade paperbacks that were released years ago. The first annual of that, and then the international special. And wrapping up that week from DC is Batman Detective Comics 1027, the deluxe edition. So I think they've done the same thing with was it Superman when they did an anniversary of that. As far as manga for that week, we have Noragami Stray God Volume 22. And I mainly put this on the list to ask you all a question if anybody's reading it, because I watched the anime years ago and I really dug it. And I didn't know if it was any good. So yeah, if anybody's reading it, let me know. I guess it has to be good, right? We're 22 volumes in and it's not canceled. Hellsing Deluxe Edition Volume 2 from Dark Horse. I believe there's going to be a total of 3 of those, because there's 10 volumes altogether, and these are 3 in 1, but if they make the last volume 4 in 1, hey, that'd be cool. And speaking of Dark Horse, we're getting a Critical Role Vox Machina Origins Library Edition. And Firefly, Watch How I Soar. That's an original graphic novel released in hardcover. And Transformers versus the Terminator. Hell yes, look at that cover! Damn, that's awesome. I can't wait for that book. Adventure Man, Volume 1, hardcover. Gideon Falls, Volume 5. So I think this is one of the final volumes, and maybe now we can get some deluxe edition announcements. Moonshine, Volume 4 is coming out. And I really like that series. It's 2 of my favorite creators that did 100 Bullets. So I'm hoping that gets a deluxe edition as well. Noir, a collection of crime comics. This looks really interesting. I may have to do a little research on this collection. And X-Ray Robot trade paperback. And that, as they say, is that. Now, when these books come out, you can check out our sponsor, CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online source for collected editions up to 50% off retail price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on excellent packaging, so your stuff gets to you in excellent condition, and they have amazing customer service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And for all you Minties that are watching, if you're a first-time customer, don't forget to mention that Near Mint Condition sent you their way for a promotional credit on free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. CheapGraphicNovels.com, your source for the hottest books with deep discounts, customer service, and excellent shipping that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the collected editions coming out in November of 2020. I will be coming out with my top 10 most wanted essential buys for the month of November. So keep an eye on the channel. They'll be here in a day, probably, maybe 2. Not sure when that will be out. But yeah, just keep an eye on the channel. And there's a link in the description down below on how to get to our Patreon. It's a great way to support the channel if you can do so and make videos like this possible, so thank you all so much to our existing patrons. And just in case, not that I have to remind you all because you all are here every month and I always say this, but these dates are always subject to change. As a matter of fact, when this video airs, some of these dates may have already changed, or hopefully nothing is canceled. But this is a pretty solid and accurate release date for these collected editions. This was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you all so much for watching. And more importantly, please, all of you, stay healthy, stay safe out there. Much love.